they're so the right size. He's already calmed down. Or she, I can't tell. Hi. Hi, sweet baby. Hi, sweet baby. Hi, sweet baby. I can see what you're going to look like as a big boy. I can tell that. What you're going to look like as a big horse. A grown-up, yes. Hi, baby horse. I love the babies.
Adopting a Mustang for the first time can be one of the most impactful experiences for a horse lover. The Mustang Summit in Westcliff, Colorado provided that opportunity for Lynn Thomas, the co-founder and president of the Horses for Mental Health organization. Lynn is a licensed clinical social worker who also co-founded EGALA, the Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association. In the 21 years she served as its CEO, she built the organization into a leader in the area of horses for mental health. With her experience, vision, and passion for the impact horses have on well-being, Lynn co-founded Horses for Mental Health in 2021 to build momentum and uplift programs worldwide to impact and strengthen global mental health. Adopting her first horse, Milkshake, was the catalyst for a Mustangs for Mental Health movement.
It's an interesting little town because we're small, but we've got such energy there. And, you know, we sit at the Sangre de Cristo, base of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, and we've got the most number of 14ers mountains than any other place in Colorado, which is amazing. It's a beautiful place, ranching community. It draws people in. And there's such history, especially Spanish history is the way I see it with Mustangs, Spanish Mustangs, and it was such a connection. But it just draws that soulfulness of a person, the artist, you know, all that creativity. It just draws it in, and we had the venue for it, which was wonderful for a small community. Sometimes we don't have that. I think it just all came together. And it attracted folks who wanted to come, and I think they had a great time.
Do this, and then just turn as much. Arm out, honey. There. Now lift up.
I'd like to get our 6, 7 Mustangers up here. So Anna Marie, Sky, Papa Mike, Wes Taylor, one of you. You're gonna stand up on the. We'll just stand in front. Stephanie Skidmore, Andrea, and who else? We got Papa Mike. Who else we got? Andrea and Bruce Anderson. Trainers will get to keep this purple visit out. So 1, 2, 3.
Shows me worry. Right now she's like, I'm okay. As soon as I come in, she moves it back slightly. She just said, I'm not comfortable with what you're doing. And what I'm doing is not pressure release. What I'm doing is recognizing that she's uncomfortable. So you go, well, maybe. In the way, you're not very good. Way to help them understand what we're doing. So when I'm asking her to do something,
getting this to the other side of him, but I'll take the touch.
Okay.
Because he blocks me on that side, so now I'm putting up more pressure on that side.
I'm so honored and excited to meet you and be part of this amazing project that you're doing. My name is Lynn Thomas. I'm a mental health professional and I'm president of Horses for Mental Health, which is a nonprofit organization to bring awareness of the power of horses that horses can bring for mental health and to advocate for more mental health services to include horses. So we're hoping that every person around the world, as they struggle with mental health needs, will think of a program involving horses because it's amazing what horses can do.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here today because talking mental health is very near and dear to my heart because I think, it's a way of breaking down the taboo of what is mental health when you finally speak out loud about it. And it's obviously very near and dear to my heart to have horses involved in that. For me, particularly Mustangs. So I'm excited to hear what you've seen and experienced from your side of like the mental health side in terms of seeing what those horses are capable of doing in between humans and even like possibly helping the horses along too.
Right. Yeah, well, I do think that this is a benefit for both horses and humans. I think this creates another niche for horses to bring another benefit to the world. I mean, they've been a big part of history over centuries, and now to really focus on mental health needs. I mean, we're in a mental health crisis in the world, and there's such a need for different and new ways to reach people and help us just learn about ourselves and heal and strengthen and grow. And horses can play a big part of that. And I can't wait to hear your story as well, like how they've played an impact in your life. But there's now many programs around the world that are providing these kind of services, and there's trainings, there's professionals who are doing this type of work, incorporating horses specifically for mental health and personal growth. And we're hoping that will continue to expand and provide more accessibility to every person, whether they live in rural areas or in cities. Yeah.
I remember being in those places where like I felt like no one knew what I was going through, and sitting with a therapist, sometimes it just felt like there was an agenda kind of behind that, and that maybe they weren't fully in tune and listening to me. But horses, they don't have any agenda. They don't hold on to anything like that, and they're just honest, and they reflect back to you kind of what you're feeling in that moment so authentically that's why they're so powerful in terms of healing.
Okay, so we're gonna get to go ride some Mustangs.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. No, most of my time is spent with horses on the ground and with clients and doing amazing things on the ground because there's so much that can happen unmounted with horses. And through that relationship, like you're talking about, that bond and that connection. And so, yeah, and I think what's neat too about horses is they don't just give you their friendship kind of thing. Like other animals might do that. You've got to work with them and really build a relationship. So, but yeah, so I actually haven't been on a horse's back for like 2 years.
Wow.
So, but I'm super excited to experience today and going on this ride with you today and seeing I think the other thing is just being in nature, like you said. Just so much of our time is spent inside, and horses help us get outside and experience the whole experience, nature. So, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm trying to think if I've even ever ridden a Mustang. That's probably my first time.
So we're headed to Buckskin Gulch today. It's been a bucket list thing of mine to actually ride through a slot canyon, and so it sounds like we'll actually get to go ride through some slot canyons, which I just can't wait to see the colors and be a part of that experience. So
it's gonna be magical because the desert is magical.
It is,
and
yeah.
Mustangs are magical.
And most Mustangs are from the desert because, like, you know, like they got pushed onto the land that was unwanted or felt deemed like unworthy of developing, and so that's essentially like the cracks and crevices where the Mustangs have really taken root and just grown with it. And so they're such hardy animals. I'm so grateful and thankful to be on Mustangs because, yeah, we're getting back into their natural environment and habitat.
And you think that you have a bond with your horse and they care about you? Not until you feel a horse see you and turn around on that back foot and come to you with love and caring. And I want to be with you. When you feel that, it's in your DNA. They're in your DNA. I'm here to tell you about liberty. Look it up. It's a new thing. When I came in to this realm of liberty, my heart breaks for all of the horses before.
Body language and how I stand and where I walk, how close I am, where my shoulders, hips, and toes point, all mean a lot to this guy. And I'm not going to talk too much, but if you guys watch my feet, watch my shoulders, my hips, and my toes, you can feel where I'm projecting or sending my energy. Right, and how I'm pacing and walking with him and where I'm standing in his body. These guys are engineering masters, man. Right? How many times you reached out to get that lead rope and they're like, you're close, man. Look at my human trying to go, oh yeah. Right, they know exactly where that is. They're really good at reading our body language. So I'll save somebody's camera. Hey, bud, be attentive over here to me.
Especially one that is to be more than one.
There you go. Scratch it, 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 scratch it. Good, good. Scratch it. Yeah, there it goes. Twitching open. Scratch it, scratch it, scratch it, scratch it. Always the rhythm goes with the walk of the horse. If the horse isn't a 1 and a 2 and a 3, you're going to scratch at a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Why? Because you want to stay in the rhythm of the brain. What's the horse doing? He's moving. It's his body. That's his body. So he goes by. That's number 1. So it's a 1 and a 2 and a 3. If he moves like that, scratch that rhythm.
You really need to realize the commitment. This is a wild animal and needs a different approach and different patience and commitment emotionally and financially. And having trained a horse, already gone through that, but domesticated, and it was a lot of commitment that, you know, I was just there, I wanted to do it. I realized going back into it again with a wild horse, it's that much more of a commitment, and they're deserving of it. So hopefully the folks that do step into this and, you know, adopt them, there's support for them. I think there is with these wonderful trainers, opportunity for them to learn with these green horses and give them the right environment so they can flourish. It just has to be the right connection. I feel with any horse, you just don't go and get it because they're, oh, how cute. And they were so cute.
So first thing, we'll just start at the top and go down through the steps. How's that? So the first thing you need to do is get an application from BLM. If you got your application, get that application filled out and get that approved by BLM. So with these yearlings, you're looking at 5.5 feet on your panels, 5 feet on your panels, and they've been worked with, but they haven't been worked with enough to drop that height. It is 400 square feet per animal, so you'll need to have that, and 20 by 20 or however you want to configure that. In Colorado, it depends on where you are, on whether you need shelter or not. You know, if you're up here, we would require shelter. You know, if you're out on the southern plains, you know, and you've got a windbreak that they put up, you know, that would be sufficient out there. So that would be good there. After you adopt and you get that approved, you'll fill out what's called a PMACA, which is it's a primary, it's an application saying that you'll take care of the animal. It's a primary care contract, basically, between you and BLM. When that horse is adopted, you will keep that horse for a year, and then you apply for title. When you apply for title, and then you receive the title, then that horse becomes your private property at that point in time. So you kind of are a foster parent for that horse for a year until you get title. And that's where you start. Minimum bid here today is a minimum of $125.
Beautiful. Just stay. Stay. Less for him to think about like a chew. You guys ever hear Reiki? I do Reiki too, on top of everything else in the body work. I also do what I call a distant open, and that's basically I use my energy and I bring it together and I bring the horse down and relax his head so that Sky can work with him a little bit better, and I've been able to keep horses in bubbles too. We call them energy bubbles. He described one before. Yeah. Front of the head. Nice turn, beautiful release. Nice dad. Lincoln 2.
The area that I want to be the most is kind of at the most before I release is a concern, curiosity. We're still curious, but still just a little worry in him. If I can find that spot, that will be the spot that he is able to learn at the most optimum level. Hey. of these distractions are okay. We just have to work through them. And it does make it a little more difficult to find the answers. But if I can't work through the distractions in here, I'm never going to work through them in the real world.
There you go. How are you doing? Good. Okay.
Salt was like, routine. Don't want any kids messing it up.
Basin Bears, and that's out of the Sandwash Basin HMA, which is here in Colorado, which is north. The other ones we have here are west of Douglas in-facility born, and that is a herd area that is just south of Rangeley.
Trying to rub his nose there on the fence. You see he's trying to rub his nose there. His foreleg, your shoulder. That's your horse trying to rub some nerves in the face.
That's okay for me. For 5 seconds. You break.
So where's the bid right now? Okay. Is that your bid, Lynn?
That's my bid. There was one thing after the next. There was a sign in the clouds with a horse cloud, and there was connect with people, and Amanda, and all you guys, and Frank, and just all these people suddenly kind of rising up and saying, it's time. And I guess there was enough signs that I said, okay.
When is this horse going to its new happy home?
Tomorrow.
Okay, it will stay here tonight, right here.
You look at the Mustangs and say, okay, we've got the spirits. They're there. Let's not break them. You know, let's transition them into the next level. If they can't stay in the wild and they need to come in, let's give them that platform and education on the public side to learn how, don't break them, and then have an experience of a lifetime with this animal.
The connection, the relationship, a lot of healing, especially for mental health or emotional health, comes through relationships, and to have that kind of relationship with an animal that is, you know, themselves, and they're transparent, like you said, and they do help us see ourselves in a way that doesn't seem to happen even with other people, or I think even other animals. It's something unique about horses.
Join up and, you know, go live life to the end. You know, it's amazing. It's a great gift.